Hey, how's it going everyone? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. So in my last Fable video, I spoke about some of the worries I have for Fable 4. One of them was the game possibly still not being fully open world. The Fable series, believe it or not, has never actually been open world, but rather open sectioned. We're given limited access to certain areas throughout the map with many loading screens in between. We're blocked from going to many places. For example, if there's a hilltop, we can't go around it. If there's a steep ledge, we can't climb it. Things like hedges, bushes, fences, cliffs, trees, invisible walls and more were used to block the player from exploring further. Now I don't think that made the series bad at all. I just always thought that a fully open world version of Fable would just be better. I thought every Fable fan thought the same thing, but it turns out that may not be true. In my last video I got a comment saying a completely open world would take a lot away from the Fable feel. Now I've actually had a couple other comments like this, and whilst I completely respect and understand this viewpoint, I also have to disagree. In today's video, instead of just telling you why Fable 4 would be better as a fully open world game, I'm going to do my best to show you instead. If you enjoy this video, please smash that like button. Let's see if we can get 2 likes on today's video. I know it's a big number, but I believe in you guys and gals. Also, for a limited time offer, the subscribe button is absolutely and completely free, so you might want to press it before the offer runs out. Anyway, let's begin. Alright, so here we are in Fable 2, and I chose this one because it's my favourite Fable game, and I think it's going to illustrate my points rather well. So, in Bowerstone Market, something that's very simple to do is this. You can go to the side, and then jump off and dive. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a big thing, but when a game allows you to do stuff like this, where you can just jump off any area, it's a big deal because it's freedom. You can choose to jump off it if you want to jump off it, not that you need to. For example, in The Witcher 3, when you first are in Kaer Morhen and you go to the balcony, you can choose to jump off that balcony and die. And I know that's not something that's like, I know that's not something that's like the biggest thing, but again, when it's an RPG and it's an open world, the option of choice, whether to kill yourself or not, whether to hurt people or not, is the biggest thing. And Fable has a really good reputation of choice. See, I see this man here and I can choose to leave him alone, or I can choose to kill him. I can choose to kill him with my sword, my gun, or my magic, which I'm not going to do because, I mean, there you go. See, now this is a really great thing in the game because it's choice. I can choose to go around and buy all these houses. I can choose to eat as much food and make my character fat, or eat celery and make her skinnier. I can choose to be a blacksmith, I can choose to walk around with clothes or no clothes, I can choose to do a lot of different things, whether it be through the story options or getting married and having kids and blah blah blah. You get the point. There's a lot of choice, and that's what makes Fable such a great game, apart from one aspect, the choice of exploration. You don't actually get to choose where you want to go. For example, right, you want to get to Oakfield. Well, you can't get to Oakfield before Bowerstone Market. You can't get to Bowerstone Market before you go to Bower Lake, and you need to do a bunch of other stuff first to get to different locations. For example, in Skyrim, you can just go to Winterfell like straight away. You don't need to go to other places. You can just travel there. You can do the Dark Brotherhood questline. You can do so many different things before you even go and pick up your first dragon shout, and that's such a great thing to do because it is choice. You can choose to go through the story and get that done as fast as possible, or you can do this, run around and do whatever you want. Another reason why Fable 4 needs to be fully open world, and this is going to seem a bit dumb, but let me explain it a bit more. When you have areas like this that are specifically created and that are specifically able to be explored, you also have items that will always be the same. So if I open up this chest, it's going to be the exact same thing that every other player has gotten from this chest. That's a very lovely item, but it is not the point. The point is everyone's going to get that same thing. It's an RPG. You're supposed to have different experiences, but why is it that there are going to be certain items and certain collectibles and certain, gold and treasures? They're always going to be in the exact same spot, and they're always going to give you the exact same thing. Alright, now here we are in Bowerstone Old Town, and I just want to show you guys another reason why I really dislike the regions. So if I want to go to the cemetery, instead of being able to just walk to the cemetery, I have to be teleported to it. Why? Why not allow me to walk this pathway right here? Why not let me do that? Why not allow me to, if I want to get to Oakfield, instead of forcing me to go down a specific pathway as if this is like a corridor shooter or something, why not let me explore it and find it on my own? Alright, so here we are in Rookridge, and I'm going to show you around this area because I think it explains my point the best. If you notice, everywhere we go is a complete pathway. This is all on a path. I can't deviate from this path and still get to the next location, which is Oakfield. I can't jump over this and, you know, jump off the mountain or something. There are fences everywhere just blocking me, and if it isn't a fence, it's an invisible wall, probably like here, something. Yeah, there we go. You can't move any further. I'm trying, I can't. And, you know, why would you? I know a lot of people are going to say, well, why would you want to jump off there and die? It's not about, you know, wanting to die in a game or anything like that. It's having the choice to do so. A game like Fable, which is so gorgeous in its vibrant colors and setting and all these different things, exploring it further would just make it that much better. And if you notice, again, look, all I'm doing is I'm not exploring this area. I'm not having fun, you know, looking at different things to do. I'm literally following a pathway. Like, what's the point of having this kind of thing in an open world? This is why Fable has never really been open world, because all these pathways are going to lead me to the exact same place. Alright, so we're in Oakfield, and Oakfield is actually one of the most open areas of the map. Like, this is probably the most open area in the entirety of Fable 2, because you can go anywhere within this region. You don't get blocked from doing that. But if I try to go further, then things like these trees will stop me from going there, or the water, or whatever else. A lot of other things will stop me. As much as I would love one huge giant open world, if we can just have like 4 or 5 big regions like Oakfield but on a larger scale, that would also be great. But as it is right now, I just don't think Fable 4 can be successful as a franchise if the regions are still going to be this small. Another negative thing for having regions is that it no longer feels like an open world to explore and venture to. It almost feels more like a checklist. Like, oh, this area has 7, you know, silver keys. I must find them. This has 3 gargoyles. This specific area has this many houses that I need to buy. This specific area has blah, 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 blah. You get the point, right? It stops that feeling of everything being random. For me, it really just ruins the flow of exploration when you have to walk through a gate that's going to teleport you to the next place, and then you have to sit through a loading screen. Alright, now here we are back in Bowerstone Market, because there's just one more thing I want to show you guys, and that would be this. Now, I know it looks kind of ugly because it's not rendered and it's not made to look pretty, but imagine if it was just a little bit more pretty and whatever. How awesome would this be to grab your horse and ride along, go into location to location and getting lost if you choose to do so. And the great thing about Fable is that you do have this breadcrumb trail, this gold little light that tells you where to go. So if you do want, you can just keep it on and travel to story beats of the game, or you can go off the beaten path and explore, have fun, see new places, visit new characters, fight new enemies, and all this different stuff if you choose to do so. Because again, it's an RPG, and the most important part of any RPG is the choice. And Fable, in my opinion, has just always been lacking in the exploration part of that choice. Alright, so here we are in the world of Skyrim, and I just want to use this as an example to show you just how open world games should really be done in many different ways. So firstly, you can explore all of this, all of it. You can go wherever you want. If I want to go, you know, to that place over there, I can go there. This isn't just, you know, scenery. This is, I can go wherever. You see that place right there? I can go inside it and explore it and spend so much time. And that is something that's very, very appealing, because these games, especially now in 2020, they all look so good, man. Their graphics and their art design, all that stuff is just so appealing that you want to go to these places. Now, another thing about Skyrim that I absolutely adore is that this area, this path we're taking right now, is the one to get to Riverwood and then to Whiterun. I guarantee you, pretty much everyone had a different experience getting from this point to Whiterun. Now, you could take this pathway, or you could go to any other place you want. You do not have to come here at all. You do not need to follow this pathway and go to Riverwood. You can completely go and explore. You can go fishing or something for some salmon in the river. You can go, you know, picking some flowers, get into fight with a giant or whatever. You can do that. You can go explore every other city in the entire map and leave this Whiterun city for last. Not only that, but over here, you can take this pathway and go into a cave and then spend an hour fighting bandits and something. You can stop over here and then catch the fish that jump off this stream or something. You can do so many different things in Skyrim. And that is what's amazing about this specific open world RPG, that you can do whatever you want. And I'm not saying that Fable needs to copy this exactly, because that would be a very big task, especially for a studio like Playground Games, which has never done an open world RPG game before, and taking that big drastic step from going from the regions to this big open world like Skyrim would be quite difficult. So I'm not saying they should copy entirely, but take notes, understand why Skyrim is such a replayable game. It's not replayable because, you know, it's got a great story or anything. It's the world, it's the quests, it's the different versions that you can be of this, you know, hero Dragonborn. You know, it's being able to get a horse and then ride it around or whatever. Don't mind the name, this was a long time ago. I haven't played this game in a long time. And even though this horse control sucks, it's still better than, you know, having to ride. Why can't I, what is going on? Oh, there we go. And this is just nice to be able to run around and even in some cases do nothing. I think that's something that Red Dead Redemption 2 and Zelda Breath of the Wild actually nail. Just doing nothing. I know that sounds silly, but that's all you can walk around and admire the game. When you do nothing. Look at the wildlife, even though the wildlife in Skyrim sucks. Fable 3 came out in 2010. And then Skyrim came out in around 2010. Both these games came out at the same time, but the quality of the open world, the quality of choice, the quality of exploration, and, you know, having armor in this game. Look at this armor. We don't have that in Fable anymore. There's a vast difference. And I understand that Skyrim also has loading screens, but it's nowhere near as immersion breaking. And Skyrim has them for different reasons. It's more of a limitation rather than a choice. Well, it is a limitation. It's not, they didn't want loading screens. They had to have them when you enter certain areas of the map. And this is just something that's really nice. Over here, look. You can go to Whiterun, or you can go anywhere else you want. That is awesome. You have weather changing. Instead of certain places being rainy and others being sunny and other being blah blah blah, you have different you have different weather as well. Now I know there are some areas in the map that are always going to be snowy, and it's never going to snow here, but you get the point. Then there are random encounters. Fable doesn't have random encounters. They have scripted encounters that will always happen at certain areas, like for example bandits always jumping out of a tree or something and attacking you. But this game, you might see a character walk up and be escorted by guards and you can choose to free them. You can see a dragon attack you out of nowhere, which if it did it right now, that would be really amazing to get my point across. Then you can explore this area and find out for yourself what is here. Instead of how in Fable, we all know that Witchwood is home to the Balverines. Here it's like, oh, this specific location is going to be where the giants and mammoths live. And then in other locations is going to be where, you know, vampires might reside and tree spirits and stuff like that. And that's really what makes an open world great. That you find areas for yourself and then you label them yourself. You know that this area is going to be about mammoths and stuff like that. Not just because the map told you, but because you found it. And then the only way to know if it's going to be a deadly area is to go in and explore it. Like, is this giant going to be nice to me or is he going to be mean? And you find out, oh, he's going to be mean and attack me and I'm going to run away now. Now, another reason why I completely love the world of something like Skyrim and The Witcher and Red Dead Redemption 2 and Zelda Breath of the Wild and blah 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 is because you can get lost in these worlds. You can find an area and be like, wait a minute, where am I? How do I get back to where I was? Where was that specific place? What is going on? Who is this? What is that? And that's great. That's such a great thing to have in a game, to feel lost and find your way back. Or, you know, use the map. but you get my point. That feeling of, I've been to this area that I've never been in before. Skyrim is so big and has such an open world that even though I've been playing it for years and years and I've put in so many hours, I don't even want to know the number because I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked at the number of hours I've put into this game. There's a very high chance that there are still areas of this map that I have not explored. I've explored everywhere in Fable 1, 2 and 3. Everywhere. Everywhere. Because the game tells you where everything is. Everything is manufactured. A chest is placed somewhere specifically, and it feels that way. In Skyrim, when you find a chest, it doesn't feel specifically placed. It feels random, or at least a reward. Like, over here there should be a chest, right? But how am I going to get to it? I have to run over there, bypass these guys, grab the chest, and then run away, because this giant can kill me in one hit. Come on, show them. Show them how you can kill me in one hit. Come on. Do it. Kill me in one hit. Kill me in one hit. Come on. Look, I'm touching a mammoth. Mammoth. Smells nice. Nice mammoth. What are you gonna do about it, huh? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? This giant sucks. Okay, now we go. There we go. Now he's angry. Go on. Okay, you suck. I was expecting you to punch me or something. But either way, I think you guys get the point of this video now. Something like this would make the Fable universe and world just bigger, better, and give us more different types of experience. There is a possibility that it could take away from what made Fable what it was, but I believe there's a much higher chance that it would actually enhance the Fable experience. After playing Skyrim, I could never imagine this game being a region-based game. I can never imagine it being split into sections. The same with Red Dead and any other open world game I've played. I can never imagine that. That would have killed this game. That would have destroyed its replayability. Just imagine how many more people would be into the Fable franchise and would be playing it even to this day possibly if it had a world like Skyrim's. Not only that, but because of this massive world, there is more lore in the world as well. There is more lore. And that is something that Fable has suffered from since the first game, really. The lore of the world in Skyrim is everywhere. You can find ancient ruins of things that came before. You can find books in certain locations. You can find, just a lot of different things that show you the backstory of the world of Tamriel, or in this specific region. Whereas in Fable, that's very hard to come by. People don't know the lore of Fable, and that's a shame because the lore is very, very interesting in the Fable series. And maybe a lot of people don't know the lore of Skyrim either, but at least this gives you the option to learn about it. You have so many books. You can buy a house and then place it in a bookshelf. You can't do that with Fable. You can interact with the chairs and all this, and the beds and everything in Skyrim. You can't do that with Fable. You can use things in this game, whereas in Fable that's not really the case. I'm not saying I want Fable 4 Skyrim edition, but understand what made these games like this game, and like GTA and The Witcher, what made their world so explorable and fun. And then try to implement those features into your game. And there's a dragon. I didn't need him to pop out now, but there he is. Fable has the potential to be as big as Skyrim, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Fable fanboy and it's my favorite franchise. I'm saying that because it's true. There is no game that offers an experience like Fable. None whatsoever. There is nothing similar to Skyrim to Fable. It's completely different. But there are things that should be the same. And one of those things, in my opinion, is the open world. They should both have big open worlds that you can get lost in and explore to your heart's content. That you can come back after 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 years and still find something that you never knew was there. Whether it be a location or, a small piece of treasure. And when you see a game with this much potential and it gets the chance to shine, man, it can do great things. But anyway, let me know down in the comment section what you all think, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. It's all good, let your frustrations out. It's fine. You can call me a dumbass if you want. I'm all good about it. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.